Hey, what's up? It's Darius Rucker, and thank you guys so much for submitting your questions. I can't wait to answer them. So, special thanks to my man Cody Allen for having me. So let's get to these questions. Here we go. Christine from Pompton Lakes, New Jersey asked, how hard is it to be on the road and away from your family? Christine, that's the hardest thing in the world. The only thing bad about my job is being away from my family. I mean, everything else is pretty fun and easy, but when I'm away from them, I'm pretty unhappy, but you know, we've been doing it for so long, we're just used to it. My kids are, it's the way they've been since they've been born, so we're pretty used to it, but it still sucks. Let's see. Austin from Chicago, Illinois asked me, how do you define happiness? Happiness is being with family, being home, and just knowing happiness is them being happy. For me, I'm at that point in my life where I'm gonna be pretty happy no matter what. So when they're happy, I seem that means happiness to me. Is when I see my kids and my wife happy. Let's see. Next question. Michael from Oakhurst, New Jersey says, from Hootie the Blowfish to country, why did you make the transition? What were your influencing factors in the decision to go from rock, pop to country? Well, my biggest influencing factor was a guy named Radney Foster, who's a great songwriter and a great singer, and he put out a record in 1990, I think it was, 89 or 90, called Del Rio, Texas, 1959. And up to that point, I really liked country music a lot. I listened to it way back in the Hee-Haw when I was a little kid. I've been listening to country music a long time, but when Radney came out with that record, I decided that someday I wanted to make a country record, and a few years ago, Hootie decided to stop touring so much, I figured it was time for me to do it, and I did it. Next question. Next question is from Allison from Aurora, Colorado. I'm sorry, Allison. What is the best and worst thing about being on tour? The best thing about being on tour is getting up to play in front of people. I love playing music in front of people that want to hear it. There's nothing like it. The worst part is being away from the family. That's the only bad part. Let's see. Elaine from Chicago, Illinois says, you seem to sing a ballad with so much compassion. My question is, in the song History to Making, how much of the song could you relate to your personal life? Oh, that song is totally relatable to me. I mean, it was, I don't know if I was writing it about the moment I met my wife, but the very first date I went on my wife, I told her I was going to marry her, and that seemed to be right. So History to Making, every time I feel that song every time I sing it, but I also feel, you know, most of the songs every time I sing them. That's the joy of being a singer to me. I get to relive my life through song. Mark from Dallas, Texas asked me, what is your favorite song to perform live? Way too many. There's so many songs I love to play live. I love playing covers. I love playing the Hootie songs. I love playing the country stuff. It's really according to what happens that night, which song is my favorite that night, because of something I saw in the audience or something that somebody in the audience did. So it's too many songs. I love playing them all. Trish from Atlanta, Georgia goes, you've had lots of different career paths. What is your favorite genre of music to perform? Right now it's country music. I love singing country music. I love playing you know, songs that twang. They don't, for me right now, if I don't, even the songs I sing that aren't country, I have to twang them up just because I love the twang of country music. Kenzie from Tampa, Florida. Do you ever get nervous before a big performance? If yes, how do you calm those nerves? Kenzie, I get nervous almost every night, pretty much every night. Before I go on, and we do a shot before we go on, and right as when that time comes, when Mike Kelly goes, all right, let's put him up, is what he says. Mike Kelly's my tour manager. He says, let's put him up. When he says that, I get butterflies in my stomach because I know it's about time to go on out there and perform in front of people. So I get nervous every night, and you calm those nerves by going out and doing it. That's all. I just got to go out and play, and once I start playing, you know, you settle down. Bella from Jackson, Mississippi. What is your favorite song of 2013 thus far? Ooh, good question. I listen to country radio religiously. I listen to it all the time. So I guess probably my favorite song that I didn't have anything to do with out in 2013 is the Blake Shelton song. You don't have to roll that little pink lemonade shooter and lean a little closer. I love that song. The line, you know, Now you're standing in a neon looking like a high I want to be on is one of the best lines I've ever written in the song. That's just beautiful. So I guess that's my favorite. Logan from Greensboro, North Carolina asks, what is your favorite sport to watch? Logan, this is how I'm going to put it to you. There's 2 times a year for me. There's football season and waiting for football season. I love all the other sports, but I only watch them because football's not on. Football is my absolute favorite thing to watch. I think it's the greatest sport ever invented. And I've been all over the world, and as in Hootie, we used to make a pact that wherever we went to a country, we would go see their big sport. And I've seen cricket and Australia rules football and soccer. I've seen a Premier League soccer game, and I'm telling you right now, the greatest sport in the world is football. Angel from Havana. Hey, Angel from Havana. What is your favorite thing about singing country music now instead of singing the music you did with Hootie and the Blowfish? I don't think there's really that big of a difference. I guess my favorite thing about it is the twang. I mean, we twang a lot more than Hootie did, and I love singing country music. I love telling the stories, but Hootie was a storytelling band too. So, I'd have to say the twanginess. I love what we're doing. Maddie from St. Mary's, Pennsylvania asked me, what is your favorite city to visit? Oh, goodness. There's too many of them. I love Dublin. I love to visit Nashville. I love New York City. Is one of my favorite cities to go visit. I don't even want to live there again, but I love to visit it. I love going down to Miami, seeing the Dolphins play. That's one of the best parts of doing what I do. I get to go to a lot of cities a lot, and so I can find something great in all those cities I mentioned, and so many more that I'm leaving out. So I just love the fact that I can do that for a living. Kate from Charleston, South Carolina asked, do you prefer touring or performing locally in South Carolina? I love touring, I do, but I love to play in South Carolina. I love when I play in Charleston. When I get to play at home, it's always something special. I was born and raised there, and the only bad part is playing at home is tough because you have 50 million people calling you for tickets. And you always want to go, really? Do you know how many family members I have here? I'll always get some random phone call, somebody asking me for tickets, somebody I haven't talked to in 5 years, and I want to really say to them, really? Do you have any idea how many family members I have in Charleston? But I love playing South Carolina, but I also love touring, but South Carolina would be the answer to your question. Let's see. Joe from Memphis, Tennessee asked, if you could choose a completely different career, what would it be? If it could be any career, Joe, it would have been playing in the NFL. Of course, looking at my body and knowing how slow I am, that was never really an option. But if I could have done anything else, I would have been a player in the NFL. And I'm not talking. I don't have to be the quarterback. I would have been happy being the center, But I would just love to have played in that league. That's not a guy. Brittany from Louisville, Kentucky asked, what does your typical day consist of? Well, it's if I'm home on the road. I'll give you the 2 examples. My typical day at home is I wake up about 6:15, and we get the kids up and ready for school, and I make breakfast. I'm the breakfast maker at home, and I make breakfast, and then I drop the kids off at school, or my wife drops off at school, and I go straight to the golf course. And I play 18 holes, and after that I usually meet my wife for lunch somewhere, and we have a nice lunch and hang out, and then around 2:15 we got to pick the kids up. And you pick the kids up, and we do homework. That's always the first thing before we do anything else. We got to do homework, and I'm the math helper in the house, so I'm always helping with math and trying to get that done. And then it's getting kind of late. Then we eat geriatric. We eat dinner at geriatric hours. So we usually have a dinner around 5:30, and then it's time to play with the kids. We either go outside and play, or we'll watch a movie, or play some board games, or just hang out with each other and watch TV. And then they're in bed at 8:30. Hopefully sometimes there's a game on that I'll stay up and watch the game. If my wife goes to bed around 9:30. If not, I'll go to bed with her at 9 or 9:30. And then your typical day on the road is I wake up and watch Mike and Mike. I go to the golf course, and I come back and have some food and work out, and then I take a nap. I'm an old man. I need my naps. And then I play a show, and then after the show, I hang out with the crew and everything till we take off, and I go to bed. That's my typical day. 2 days. Abby from San Jose, California asked me, what is your favorite song to cover? I've played so many covers over the year. I I mean, right now it's probably Wagon Wheel. I mean, I just love playing that song. I love the reaction it gets. I love, I love that song. It's a great song. But over the years, we've done everything from Steve Miller Band to Police to, so many things. So I love it. I still feel like I'm a singer in a cover band that got really lucky. So I love playing covers. Let's see, where were we? Brooke from Savannah, Georgia asked me, what is your favorite movie of all time? There's a big tie up there at number one. The big tie, it stars the first movie to tie is Stir Crazy. It stars Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. And if I saw it today, you would think that I was seeing it for the first time because I would be laughing so hard. That movie kills me. It is so funny. And it's tied at number one with Godfather 1 and Godfather 2. Those are two of the greatest movies I've ever seen made. I mean, it's just, that's great movie making. But creeping up on them slowly but surely and getting closer every time I see it, it's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Genius. Genius movie making. I'll never forget when I took my nephew to see the first one. It ended, and I embarrassed him for about 3 minutes because I stood up and I just stood up and gave it a standing ovation. He kept going, "Oh, but Darius, sit down." I wouldn't. I was just so happy. I thought it was a great movie. Let's see. We already answered that one. Stan from Austin, Texas asked me, who's your favorite current country singer? Oh my goodness, there's too many of them. I love all the guys. My favorite country singer is Randy Foster. I think he's amazing. He's my idol. Every time I open my mouth, to sing country music, I'm trying to be Randy. So he will always be my favorite, whether it's current or not. He's my favorite singer. And go out and get some of his records on iTunes. You won't be disappointed. Oh, I saw one. I just lost it. Gina from Huntsville, Alabama asked me, what's the first song you learned how to play on guitar? Well, I learned to play guitar when I was 19, and I learned out of necessity. Hootie and the Blowfish had started the band, and we needed another guitar player, and so I decided I was going to learn how to play. And the first song I learned to play was Fire in the Mountain. And I played that song every day, all day. When I wasn't in class, I was in my room playing Fire in the Mountain. And finally my friend Chris Carney went and told everybody that was with me that they had to teach me another song that he was going to break my guitar. That sounds like Carney, doesn't it? Jimmy from Cincinnati, Ohio asked, do you enjoy coming from a big family, or would you have rather been a single child? Oh, I would have changed my childhood for anything. I love coming from a big family. There was 6 of us kids, but we had nine other siblings, 9 other cousins that were as close as brother and sister as to us as our brothers and sisters were. And so you always had somebody to play with. I love that. You always had somebody to play with. You always had somebody to do something with. I would never want to be a single only child. I love being from a big family. Jamie from Venice Beach asked me, what was the last song you listened to? The last song I listened to, and I know this for a fact because I listened to it in my car the other day, was More Like Her by Miranda Lambert. That song still gives me chills when I hear it, and I was in my car the other day, and it random on my iPod, and it came on, and I was very excited that it came on, because I love that song. Shane from Philadelphia asked, what is your dream vacation? My dream vacation is taking the kids and the wife and going to Bermuda. Bermuda is my favorite place to vacation, and I don't get to go there enough. I haven't been there in years, and it's a great place with great people, and if I had to choose where to go on vacation, it'd be Bermuda. The kids would say Disney World. Lucas from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, what's your favorite food? By far, anything Italian. I love Italian food. I can't get enough of it. From everywhere. My wife always laughs at me because every great Italian restaurant we go to, I get the spaghetti bolognese. And the reason I do that is because if you can impress me with that, then I know you're a great restaurant, because that's the simplest of the meals they have. And nothing like a great bruschetta. There's nothing like a great Italian meal. It's my favorite by far. Annie from Apple Valley, California asked, do you know how to cook? And if yes, what is your favorite thing to make? I'm an okay cook. I can't go throw together, some crazy dish or anything like that, but there's meals I cook, and my favorite thing to cook is Papa Sketty. That's what the kids call it, which is basically spaghetti made by Papa. And it's simple. There's no recipe needed. You know, I just make it and make it all in one big pot, and that's it. They love that. Every time I say we're having Papa Sketty, I get some happy kids. Happy, happy, happy. Taylor from London asks, who would you love to go on tour with? Well, I've managed to go on tour with some great guys. I mean, Brad Paisley and Lady A and Rascal Flatts. Those guys treated me so awesome. It was great to be on tour with them. But if I was going to go on tour with one band right now, it'd be the Zac Brown Band. And because, first of all, I love them so much as a band, but second of all, I'd really like to get to know those guys, because every time I've hung out with them, they're so cool and we have so much fun, and I'd like to be better friends with those guys, and so I'd definitely choose Zac Brown.
I have a question too.
Okay.
Can I ask what kind of boots you have? Can I show them on?
Yes.
Those are nice.
These boots, what's the name of the company? Old Gringo?
Bootstar.
Oh, these boots are made by a company called Bootstar, and they're custom made for me, and I love them. These are sweet.
Those are nice.
Thank you. All right, now do I do this last one?
Absolutely. We got time for one more, and
okay.
Love it. Love the boots.
Danielle from Helena, Montana asked, do you have any regrets in life? No. I mean, I'm sure I do, but nothing that pops in mind that was so big that I would even talk about it. You know, I've tried to be a good guy and a nice guy my whole life, and those are important things about life to me. And so I'm sure I probably do, but nothing really worth mentioning. You know, I'm just at that age. I'm just trying to live my life, try to wake up every day and make somebody smile. Yeah, that's it. Well, thanks again for submitting your questions to me. I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy answering. And thanks to my man Cody Allen for always being there for me, always being a great dude and being a good friend. I hope to see you guys soon. Take care.